Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I'm here to inquire a question that has caused me anxiety throughout the day about the validity of my fast. After sahur, I thoroughly cleaned my mouth, like I brush my teeth, I floss, and then I rinse it multiple times. But during the day, like while fasting, for some reason, I intentionally sucked on my teeth or gums to check for any remaining food particles and then swallowed the saliva. I did not feel anything solid though, like when I swallowed the saliva. But I am convinced that there might be some small particles that might actually get swallowed, but which made me fearful. I'm fearful. I'm concerned. But then when hours like a few times later, when I checked it, when I checked it with the same way, but instead of swallowing it, I spat it out. I checked. There's no food particles, but it made me calm for like a few hours later until I decided to check again with the same method. But this time I actually found something. Now this made me concerned that I might actually be swallowing something.
Rasia, let me ask you one question. Do you sniff your clothes, trousers, shirts every time? Yes or no?
No.
How do you know that a lizard did not walk on it when it was in the drawer, peed, urinated, and then left? You have to sniff everything. Maybe there is lizard urine. Is this logical, yes or no?
No, Sheikh.
Now, flossing, brushing with toothpaste, you're bad business for dentists. And after that, you go and check and suck your teeth and rinse your mouth and go. Akhi, this is totally not from Islam. What you're doing is a clear innovation and extreme. Nothing in the Quran or Sunnah calls for this. I eat and I don't even brush my teeth. Because I don't want to brush my teeth. It's all crowns and bridges, and I'm afraid if I just touch it, it's going to fall down one day. I hope it doesn't happen on air. Now, during the day, let's assume 2-3 hours, I feel, yeah, it's part of the Wagyu steak I had yesterday. Okay. Throw it. Of course, wash my hands, sanitize. That's it. Khalas. End of story. I don't have to whisper and have doubts and, oh, did this or did that. I'm finding the taste. Akhi, Islam is much, much easier and simpler than what shaitan is trying to convince us otherwise.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Alaykum assalam wa barakatuh.
First, I apologize, Sheikh. It has not been a wise decision to try and solve my marital issues through this short Q&A format because there's too much context was lost between sessions. One day, my wife is the every woman for excessive tabarrush. The next day, I supposedly have rage fits and need therapy. I don't even remember the last time I had a rage fit in my life. This is my fault and I apologize. I'm currently working with friends to send the money to your PayPal account from abroad so we can talk properly, inshallah. My question today is extremely important. It's about my uncle who has been severely affected by black magic, I believe. According to what my mom told me yesterday, they have completely ruined him. Every time they call him, he sends them whatever amount they ask for. And I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. He even sold the bags of cement he bought to build his own house. And he takes out loans from people just to send these guys money. Sometimes he comes back home with dirty clothes and without shoes. His family locks him up in an hospital. I'm going to visit him today, inshallah. My question is, what is the best piece of work from an Imam of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah that you can recommend me to look into for this issue? Jazakumullahu khairan.
Jazakum. I don't know anything that is specifically written about this issue. If a person is suspected to have black magic, then Ruqyah must be performed regularly and continuously on this person until Allah Azza wa Jal heals him.